documentary filmmaker who's putting an ad on the internet saying documentary filmmaker looking for suicidal individual to follow from first preparations to final act. And then the film describes the tragedy that kind of ensues. Well, we wanted to do something that was where the aesthetics kind of matched the story, and we wanted to do something where the actors could improvise and we didn't have to script it and kind of make it stiff that way. And it just worked to follow a documentary filmmaker using the documentary style. Yeah, those kind of, the form and the content merging together. That's why we did that.
I think one of the other points about having done it as a, having done it as a in a documentary style also sort of presents the question of people when they accept that it's real, when they say this is a real documentary I'm watching, it also kind of ties into the concept, which is why are they watching it? What are they trying to get out of this? Do they really want to see this guy commit suicide? And whether they believe it or not, what's their purpose for being there? Because you can turn around and be like, oh, this is horrible, but it's like, well, you sat there and watched it, so did you want to see him die? And I think that that's an interesting side effect of the way it was filmed. But I really enjoyed improvising, and I found that the freedom to use my own words was just great.
When you're improvising, you have to rely on the other actors. So if you have 4 other actors who can't really improvise, it's not going to go anywhere.
What are you saying?
So luckily for us, we had good improvisational actors, so you just feed off each other. You don't really know what you're going to be saying. So they say something, you can feed off on it. So it's more of a more of a relaxing type of acting, because you just go with what happened. So if you have creative people, it goes there. So
and the reactions, it's like when you don't know what's coming, it can often be pretty genuine, you know. So it's good that way.
It was really an adventure because no take was like the one before. You know, you were watching it as it was happening, and you were like, what are they going to come up with now, and how are the others going to react to that? And funnily enough, once a scene started out as a good take, it was good all the way through because everyone is kind of feeding off of that energy. We knew where every scene was supposed to go, and sometimes they didn't go there, sometimes they could never reach it, which were some of the most beautiful scenes, funny enough. And then because we started shooting in chronology, is that a word?
Chronological order.
That's what we did. We could react to that. If something came up in one scene, we could just, steer off the path and do something completely different after that. Once you've tasted this, working with such a small team and so focused on the acting and being able to turn around so quickly, no lighting, all that stuff where everyone's just waiting and the energy goes down, it's going to be tough to go back to the usual way of shooting.
It was a really good process. Like, it really doesn't compare to any sort of scripted, straightforward film acting that I've done, which is you do it, you stop, you do it, you stop, you wait around for 3 hours, you do it again, you say one line, you say a line to a person who's not actually standing there, but it's like a piece of tape next to the camera. They're like that right there, that's the woman you love, and there's no one there. Like, it's really, I think, just so genuine, and I liked it a lot.
And you can do things that you could never do with the script. Like, we shot for 36 hours straight, and we put them to bed on camera, and they slept on camera, and we woke them up on camera. The stuff you see in the film is them really waking up. There's a lot of moments that are not actually acted, but you feel it's acted because it's part of the film. Yeah. But it's actually real, and you get something from actors, no matter how good they already are, when they are tired. And they just want to go home, and they get angry. There's one take in there of our actress who gets so angry at me and screaming at the camera. And really, she just wanted to go to work. She was late for work, and I said, one last take. She was getting so upset. It had nothing to do with the story or the film, but the emotion is the same, so we could use it, and you wouldn't get that in a scripted film.
Everything we did was real. When we went to see where I was going to be buried, that was real. Getting the gun, it was real. So it's all real except for the ending, really, where that's fake. So the process for these guys making the documentary, I can see why they were feeling these emotions, because they're making a real documentary, but it's just the ending that's fakes.
I don't like this fake word, by the way.
Narrative.
Narrative.
Yes.